Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome to episode 23 of Living Local. I'm your host, Stephen Walker, and as always, we've got a lot to get into. Tonight, we're celebrating Black History Month, and I have invited La Crosse Public Library archivist Jenny DeRocher to talk about the history-making African Americans from our area. She's going to talk about George Pogue, the first African American to win a medal at the Olympic Games and a La Crosse native. Then, in the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week, we're going to talk with Denise Christie Moss from the La Crosse County Historical Society's Enduring Families Project. She'll tell us all about what the Enduring Families Project does and the impact that African Americans have had on the Coulee region, specifically in the 19th century. Of course, we're going to get your weekend weather outlook in here, and I'll see if you got a minute before we part ways. But first, we start where we always do, with the Amundsen's Appliance Week That Was. If you're like me, you may have thought that college students kind of coasted through their senior year. Allow me to introduce you to three pretty special UW-Eau Claire geography students. Last month, Danny Raymond, Grace McDonald, Ella Ostreicher, and their professor, Dr. Harry Joel, crossed the Pacific Ocean to study shoreline changes in the Philippines, an opportunity they could not refuse. These Blue Golds spent 3 weeks in northern Samar, Philippines, imaging the coastal plains. This imaging helps scientists better understand large-scale weather and tectonic events impacting the area. Things did go wrong at times. Danny said doing field research taught him that you just have to adjust.
There were some things that we had to change on the fly. You know, one of our tracks that we were looking to actually scan with the GPR equipment turned out to be just a wall in the middle of a field.
You might be wondering, how does analysis from thousands of miles away help us here at home? Dr. Joel explains.
We get hurricanes every year. We get tropical storms every year hitting our coastlines. That is trillions of dollars in real estate here. That is lives that are lost, lives are injured. We got schools that are taken down and homes that are taken down, and we need to understand what's going to happen into the future and how to better prevent that, because we all know that our insurance rates are going up because of this.
I think policy change would be the best outcome from this research, just because without policy change we can't do a whole lot else with it.
In addition to the scientific work, the students also learned international cooperation.
To be able to kind of just pick the brains of these people that are just phenomenal workers and understand things from a different perspective, it was really, really fortunate.
If you have the opportunity to do research, you should jump at it, even if it's, not an international project, even if it's just a weekend-long project. It's a great learning opportunity.
The trip was paid for in its entirety by the International Fellows Program through the Intercultural Immersion Office at UW-Eau Claire. The students will be presenting their research findings at the Celebration of Excellence in Research and Creative Activity, or CIRCA, in late April. The Wisconsin Veterans Museum is making sure that women veterans get the opportunity to share their stories and accomplishments from their time in the service. The I Am Not Invisible campaign hopes to shed light on the role of female veterans. Vets from around the area visited Western Wisconsin Technical College in La Crosse for a photo shoot and interview to highlight the military service of women. Organizers say the event allows women veterans to remind others and themselves of everything they've accomplished.
They kind of leave the military, they go on to have families, they start jobs and careers, and they put that part of their life in a little capsule in a way. This is an opportunity to kind of embrace that and realize that the things they learned in the military, they apply everywhere, but also to celebrate it and realize the strength that they gained from that service.
This year, 34 local veterans got their portraits taken. Last year, 22 vets took part. The vets that our reporter spoke to said they enjoyed the opportunity to share their experience.
A lot of time the female veterans are kind of put on the back burner. We're not really seen. For example, my husband is also a veteran. When we go anywhere, they thank him for his service, but they kind of put me like I didn't serve. So this is a really good thing to be able to have us kind of put out there and actually be seen by more than our families and those that we served with.
The vets were also encouraged to bring in something special for the portrait.
It's usually something that's very meaningful to them. You will see them bring in photos, yearbooks, their uniform, and this is something that's meaningful to them and they want represented in that photo.
After the shoot, the vets do an interview with the Wisconsin Veterans Museum. The photo and story is then added to the I Am Not Invisible digital collection on the museum's website, wisvetsmuseum.com. That was a look back at the Amundsen's Appliance Week that was. Coming up next, I'm going to sit down with La Crosse Public Library archivist Jenny DeRocher. She'll tell us all about a titan in lacrosse and Olympic history. George Coleman Pogue, member of the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame and bronze medalist in the 200 and 400 meter hurdles at the 1904 Olympic Summer Games in St. Louis, the first African-American in history to win a medal at any Olympic game. More about this incredible man and lacrosse's own George Pogue next on Living Local. Stick around.